What if I told you that where you run your small business could mean the difference between paying nothing in sales tax or losing thousands of dollars a year? State-imposed sales tax impacts businesses, not just from a compliance and regulation standpoint, but also as a competitive advantage or disadvantage, depending on what state you're in and what states surround you. Here are the top 10 lowest sales tax rates by state. South Dakota has a low state sales tax of 4.2%. But watch out, local governments can push that number up to 6.11% on average, and in some areas it can go as high as an extra 4.5%. If you're selling at different locations in multiple counties, your customers could be paying different rates, which can complicate pricing and bookkeeping. Idaho has a flat 6% state sales tax, with a small 0.03% average local rate. But here's the kicker. In some places, the local tax can be as high as 3%. If you're selling online, be aware that your tax obligations can vary by zip code. Kentucky, Maryland, Michigan. All three states have a straightforward 6% state sales tax, with no additional local taxes. For small businesses, this is a huge advantage. Predictable tax rates equal simpler accounting and pricing strategies. Where is your business based? Does sales tax help or hurt your profits? Drop a comment below and let's talk. Virginia's state tax is 5.3%, with an average 0.47% local tax, though local rates can climb as high as 2.7%. Even small local tax increases can impact pricing and competitiveness, especially if your customers can cross state lines for lower rates. Wisconsin keeps its state tax at 5%, with an average 0.7% local tax, but watch out, local rates can go as high as 2.9%. If you run an e-commerce business, you'll need a solid tax compliance system to track all the different rates. Maine has a straightforward 5.5% sales tax, with no local add-ons. If you sell in Maine, you don't have to worry about varying tax rates from city to city. Wyoming keeps its state sales tax low at 4%, with an average 1.44% local tax, but some areas can go up an extra 2%. If your customers are price sensitive, even a 2% difference could drive them to competitors in a lower tax county. Hawaii has a 4% state tax, with a tiny 0.5% local tax average. Hawaii technically charges a general excise tax instead of sales tax, which businesses pay directly, meaning you could be on the hook even if your customers aren't paying sales tax. Alaska doesn't charge state sales tax. The average local tax rate is 1.82%, but local governments can add up to 7.85%. Alaska has a unique sales tax system. With such a large range in local sales tax, businesses need to consider counties nearby for competitive pricing strategies. Before we get to the number one lowest sales tax rate, don't forget to like and subscribe, because in our next video, we'll show you real-world examples of businesses who saved thousands by strategically locating their brick and mortar to improve their sales tax. You won't believe how much of a difference state lines, counties, and even local tax rates can make on your bottom line. Subscribe now and join us next time as we explain how sales tax impacts small businesses in towns that have lower taxes nearby. And now for the number one lowest state sales tax. Delaware, Montana, New Hampshire, Oregon. The tax-free states. These states charge zero state and local sales tax. Whether you run a brick-and-mortar shop or an online store, you keep more of your money, and your customers love it too.